You're so good at buying stuff, Nigel. You're so bad. You're so much worse than me. You know, the only person I think competes with you is Michael. Michael was so bad.
So I put the whole kit together.
He's making progress. I'm making progress right now by buying.
Yeah.
No. So I
just have to wait like 2 days until it shows up.
I can't do anything.
I can't do anything for 2 days.
What if we did an episode where we're all high on meth?
Dude, we're already doing it.
What do you think that would be like? I'm not
All
sure.
of our ideas would be so much more interesting and better.
Have you ever interacted with somebody high on meth that you knew was high on meth?
Mm-mm. Well, I mean, it's like I'm pretty sure.
Right, but like you knew they were high on meth.
How close to Adderall is meth? And then I can answer yes or no for that question.
What is
I feel like in a high dose, probably pretty similar,
no.
but like higher than a medical dose.
How much when somebody does meth? How much more meth are they doing? Uh-oh, Nigel died. Oh, he's back.
I did?
No, you're there.
No.
How much more meth are they doing than a medical dose? Like 10 times more?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you took a 10 times dose of Adderall, you would feel something fucked.
Mm-hmm. You would
Like-
I think you would just feel like shit. It would be bad.
Like anxiety, maybe?
Wait, if you took what?
Like a 10x dose of Adderall.
Oh, you would not feel good.
What would you feel, though? Would you feel physically bad?
You'd feel like paranoid, racing thoughts, uncomfortableness. You'd probably feel pretty good though.
Like fully cracked out, kind of?
Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin's on the highest legal dose. They had to the doctor has him in this charts as a walrus. 1,200 pound walrus.
Oh, I could go higher. I went down to 20 milligrams and then I went back up to 30.
Wow. Fucking crackhead.
The doctor's like, okay, sure.
Like, oh, we can go up to 50, but these ones go up your ass.
He's like, why did you go back down to 20? And I'm like, I don't know. I just didn't like the idea of taking that much Adderall. I literally, that was it. I'm like, I feel bad. And then I'm like, fuck it.
When I die, I die.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, like, don't give me, you know what, actually, whatever, FDA, fucking suck my ass.
I'm like, I survived on the lower dose. I can go back up to the higher dose.
I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
All right, Nigel, what do you think about this? It's my, I'm trying to gas myself up right now. On Gov Deals,
Do it.
right now, I appreciate the enthusiasm a lot.
Nothing you can say is going to make him change his mind, by the way.
I know what I should do, and it's not what I want to do. What I should do and what I want to do are completely different things. There's a crane,
Okay.
and it's currently like $5,000, and I don't think anyone's going to bid on it. It'll probably cost $2,000 to transport.
It has wheels.
You can't fucking.
No?
You can't.
No, it's okay.
No, I don't think so. I don't think you can drive this on.
Oh, you'd probably need a commercial license.
You would
to,
fucking destroy the road too. You need like a shit ton of wheels, I think, to not destroy the road.
Oh, okay.
And that's it. A crane that can lift, I think, what was it, 14,000 pounds at its max? Or was that fully extended? I don't remember. No, I feel like it was like 14,000 pound.
Fully extended.
Was it? No, that's psychotic.
I don't know. It was a lot, man.
It was a lot. It was like, 14,000 pounds is a lot.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
But what's the debate? Whether you should get it?
Yeah.
Do you have
Yeah.
a photo of it?
Like there's a bit of a risk because we don't know if it works. I asked if it runs and they never answered. There's a bit of a risk in transporting it. Like that's gonna be a bitch. If the thing doesn't run, like that's just gonna sit and rot. I don't have any time to fix it.
Also, it's like, what are you really going to use it for?
I mean, I definitely would use it. And if it actually was $5,000 plus $2,000 for transport,
Yeah.
it might actually pay for itself.
I mean, honestly, if you literally used it once or twice, it would pay
actually
for itself. But then you're also kind of like inventing scenarios to use the crane.
Yeah, I think YouTube was built for that though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. YouTube videos.
If I have to lift the shipping containers once or twice, we're like already encroaching on 50% because that cost like probably to move them, to transport the containers, getting them onto a truck.
Just slap like a big established titles sticker on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I like that.
It'll pay for itself.
No one's going to complain. Established Titles bought this crane.
Yeah.
Just got to make sure it works.
Why the fuck am I asking Nigel? He's the dumbass who buys like the dishwasher.
No.
You know who you should be asking.
I've realized,
Who?
more.
Your wife.
Oh, no. I will get... I don't know what to answer, actually.
I've realized something today.
What?
More machines, more problems.
Okay, mister, my dishwasher costs as much as a car.
It's less than
I'm
a car.
still waiting on
It depends on what car
the
you
cooking
buy.
video that you were talking about. Steamed
I
salmon.
just haven't gotten around to it. Dude, I use the dishwasher like lately, like every second day. It's great.
Have you made a video on it?
No, I just use it.
I feel like a short. I would watch a short about my fucking dishwasher.
Yeah.
From my dishwasher from the most expensive page on the McMaster catalog.
Dude, I mean, we've been planning to do it. I don't know. The projects I'm working on, I've gone down the whole rabbit hole of just never ending projects. I'm getting out though. I'm getting out. I'm escaping.
You sound like a crackhead. I've got a pitch for you.
Okay.
What about an intern or a lab assistant?
We just hired someone who's kind of like that.
Yeah. What do you mean,
So-
kind of? What does that mean?
Like he's half an assistant.
Like he used to do, he does what Reggie used to do, but now Reggie's too good. You can't make him do all the low level work.
No, it's like the problem is Reggie never had lab experience. Like he was never formally trained. So it's like there was an insurmountable barrier of training that would, require it's all the years and years and years and years of like lab training.
Oh,
I
okay.
can't do that. Whereas like this other guy we hired, he has that. So it's like slowly getting him in to be able to do a lot of those like lab tasks.
It's zooming really far in on his face right now.
Yeah, I don't know. 'Cause I keep looking down.
Okay. Because I get like emails all the time, people asking to intern, but I'm just like, I don't have like what like I mean,
Yeah.
We have.
I mean, the biggest.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to hear you say. I was going to say the hardest thing for me though was like, it was always sure. I was like, I can get someone to help me, but then there'll be days where there'd be 2 weeks where I just have to edit and finish a
Yeah.
video.
Like
Like,
nothing
what is
for
the
them
guy's
to do,
twit? So he's good because now he flips to do like producer role stuff.
Empties the fridge.
That's like
out.
his main. That's his main thing is like keeping the projects going, doing background research, making sure things are going along, and then if I need him, I can pull him to go and do that. But then it means, yeah, that's what I've realized the solution for me is.
Yeah, that's kind of I think one of the big problems when I think about this is that there's so much downtime where I'm just like I like
Just
crawl into a hole.
Yeah. It's because I keep looking down and it goes crazy.
Yeah, I say we could figure out what's going on, but nope, that's how it'll be forever. And I'm like, I don't know how to delegate tasks. Like even with open source, like there's, other people in charge of this kind of structure. And so it's like, I just it's like, I just make decisions and brainstorm and come up with thoughts. I don't have to like delegate things because if I'm trying to, make a video, it's like the programmer thing. Like how long does it take you to get into that, like that state, that flow state where you're actually working on it? I think like me getting into a video, like the process of making a video, I swear to God, it takes a minimum like 2 days. Like actually, like
No, it takes.
Oh yeah.
There is a time. Like I know that I always like go. Okay, I got to get into the video. It means I'm gonna have to tinker with my things less.
yeah.
And then one day I'll boot up the thing, look at it for like an hour, maybe 30 minutes.
Exactly. It's like a
and then-
ramp up. It's like you have to
Yeah.
mentally prepare.
If you get into it, if
Yeah.
you get into that, like if you're lucky enough, you fucking roll, you wake up that morning, you're the pill of Adderall you took has a couple extra sprinkles in it. The fucking pharmacist fucked up. It's like just the boost you needed to start your video.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
Yeah.
Just fucking keep going. And it's like, for me, that's how when I make a video, I'll end up, going, my fucking bedtime shifts to like 4 a.m.
Oh
because
yeah.
it's like, I just know I can't stop.
Exactly.
Like if I have any energy to keep going, I just have to keep going.
Yeah.
And it's like it takes you like me, like straight unadulterated days to get to that point. Like I almost have to have like a week or two with like nothing going on. Then I procrastinate, right? So it's like I'll procrastinate like days.
Yeah.
And then I'll start feeling bad. And be like, I have to fucking work. I have to make a video. And then I finally, it's like this long fuse of like mental illness to finally get into the video making process of like, it's not just like, here's my idea and I'm going to work on it because I need to make a video. It's like, I don't really know how to start. I'm like, I don't have any progress yet. So I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know what my motivation is. How do I justify the fucking project I'm doing to people? And then you're like, you just, for whatever reason, feel bad enough about not getting anything done because you're not getting anything done that you're like, you break through like a fucking, like a dollar store condom. You fucking bust through it and you start swimming and you fucking can't stop, man. You just got to keep going. And so like any of the like business crap of like open source or a channel, or even having to like manage an intern, when you're swimming to whatever your destination is, whatever this metaphor is, like, you know, you're gonna have somebody fucking come like, what do you need me to do? And you're like, fucking leave me alone.
Yeah.
So I think that as the team obviously grew and stuff, I felt my mentality about things slowly shifting. And I think the one thing that I had to learn over time,
That's
which
the
I
lead
always
leaking out of your
hated,
bones, by the way.
what I hated was switching tasks. Like I really like to be able to just work on a video. Then when I'm done, I edit a video. Then when I'm done that, I do something else. But I've had to learn how to kind of switch things constantly. And even now with a lot of projects that are taking months to put together, it's like I will work for an hour on my hydrogen generator's broken. So I'll tinker with that, maybe fix it, send an email, try to figure it out. Then I'll turn around and go, oh, well, now I have to throw something in the freeze dryer. Oh, that broke. I'll fix that. Okay, now there's this I have to deal with. Like I'm always bouncing around. And at first it was so painful, but I'm kind of used. My brain never did, but I'm so used to it now that it's like, I find the barrier of entry for a lot of stuff feels, I don't know, maybe it's like realizing that you can get a decent amount done if you just do like 30 minutes or an hour. So,
but how do you get into like the zone for like getting like doing a video? Like for me, it's like a full thought process where I have to think about like, what am I building? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what am I building?
I don't know.
What is my motivation for building it? Like, how am I explaining this to people? Because like, you know, what you can do if you're making a video is like, you can just come up with an idea and you can say, I want to build this thing. But like on YouTube, you have to fucking explain it. Like that's your intro. That's your title, your thumbnail. You have to like say, like for you, you know, I mean, I always like kind of bounce around when brainstorming. And it's like, Nigel's very literal. It's like, you know, I've always wanted to do this thing. Yada. And people are like, okay, I
saw this thing online and I want to do it myself.
Right. And
you stole my formula.
Yeah, fuck. But your formula, you do have a formula, is very consistently just obscure transformations.
Not always.
There's a joke in here somewhere that I cannot make. I'm not making it. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
No, it's not that good. I shouldn't. It's not coming out of my mouth. And so it's like people come into the video like, oh, this is kind of a weird transformation, and you don't really need too much of an explanation to why. I don't know why. Like your formula is like pretty magic, but I think like for a lot of channels like that physically build stuff, it's a little bit more difficult where you're like, you have to just prime them into the video. It's like, why should the audience be interested in what they're about to watch? Like the title and thumbnails develop the expectation. They're like, oh, I expect to see this in a video.
This is why this thing that you're watching is kind of special and you should feel good about watching it.
Right. You're like, I promise you it's going to be good. It's kind of the beginning of the video. And so it's like when you're making something, like for me, like very engineer mind, like there's two hats. Like you got like storytelling hat and you have engineer hat. It's like two completely different problems. And engineer hat is like, you know, I don't have to explain it. I'm just like, you know, almost caveman brain, like put this fucking wire here and make this thing do this and that. And then there's the storytelling brain, which is like, you know, how much of this do I show? Do I film it all? And then you like figure out what the story is later. Do you do this? Do you do that? But then you're like, why would anybody care? Like, and having those two brains exist at the same time is a fucking nightmare.
Sorry, I have to sneeze.
But it's, what I would say is like in terms of videos that I make, there are a bunch of different, obviously we have like whatever different, I don't know, I won't even call them formats. some of them are easier to explain than others.
Yeah.
But regardless, they all have, I mean, as you know, like any YouTube video, it does fall in that pit of like, why am I doing this?
Right.
So in general,
I mean, I think for us, like we do it because we think it's cool.
I know, but that's the same thing with me.
Yeah.
So even like just recently, or no, it was like over a year ago. Or it's forever I've wanted to do this, but a year ago I bought all the stuff. I wanted to do silver plate photography.
Yeah.
And so I bought everything. I did all the research. I bought raw glass. I cut the glass slides. I bought the cameras. I bought a giant lens that's like
you're
this
so
big.
good at buying stuff, Nigel. You're so fucking bad. You're so much worse than me. You know, the only person I think competes with you is fucking Michael. Michael was so bad.
So I put the whole kit together.
He's like, he's
right?
making progress. I'm making progress right now by buying shit.
Yeah.
No. So I
just have to wait
put
like
the
2
whole-
days until it
Yes.
shows
Oh,
up.
I can't do anything.
I can't do anything for 2 days.
No,
I know your
the thing
tricks,
is that
Michael.
like I do stuff in the meantime, but I got all the stuff, put all the kit together and went, wait, why am I making this video? Like and I was like making a photo. I was like, great. Everyone's made of like, it's silver plate photography is pretty commonly.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's common, but uncommon, but common. And I'm like,
I turned my dead grandmother's wedding ring into a photograph.
so like the one, well, that's the thing. Like I thought really for a long time, like how I would present it. And
It starts with you in a cemetery with a shovel.
Yeah, getting dead people's teeth.
And by grandmother, I
fillings.
mean someone else's grandmother. I have no fucking idea who this is.
But it's like, you remember, I think I talked to you about it because I was like, it'd be cool to turn like, you know, anything made out of cotton because that could be turned into nitrocellulose, which is the film. So I was like, oh, I could turn like a pair of underwear. You were talking about that like into, but I just like, there was just like, when I thought of the title, like, you know, turning an old pair of underwear into a photograph or something, I was like, I just don't.
Oh, that's such,
Like
that's such a fucking good
Yeah, that's been played out.
It's gonna be a big fat fucking skid mark on them.
No, but like, I just, it's like, it's funny because I didn't realize that subconsciously.
Thrift store.
I
Turning
did
thrift
have
store underwear into a photograph. And this is like,
It's like holding it with tongs.
But it's like the reason why, and this was over a year ago, and I still haven't made the video because I'm like, I don't know.
could be
what
Nile Blue.
motivates
Nile
me.
Blue.
But the thing that it finally, and basically the conundrum was the classic YouTube conundrum. I think the video that's very clickbaity, like, you know, turning skid mark underwear into a photograph, I was like, it won't portray why that's not why I actually want to do it. So now I'm like, but if the way that I want to do it is not going to have a flashy title, but I'll be able to present it in the way that matters to me. But I was like trying to find this middle ground, and it was literally like 5 days ago. I'm like, there is no middle ground. I just have to do the one that gets less views.
I think you're like the purple gold. I don't remember explicitly, but I do think there was something about you had seen something a while ago. You're like, I had seen this.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
I had
yeah,
seen
yeah.
this thing, and I wanted to replicate it. And like, even if your motivation is like that simple,
Yeah.
it doesn't like. I think most people be like, well, what do you mean you have to explain it to the audience? Even saying, I saw this thing a while ago, and I wanted to try to replicate it, but it's like a really difficult thing. Like that is enough. And if you can't figure out how to frame that in like a concise way, like it can be an enormous struggle.
To me, I would say the way that if you were to view as what I do as a formula, I think it makes sense. It's kind of like you introduce it from a previous experience.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I saw it. But to me, what was so important for the purple gold was like, I need to do something unique. And that was me. That's how it started. I want to make a ring because I'm like, the ring doesn't exist. So to me, I'm making something inherently valuable. So that's kind of what I find I do for some projects.
You don't have to go deeper than that. It's like,
No.
I promised
It's very
my
base level.
girlfriend that I would buy her a purple gold ring, but then I realized I couldn't find one anywhere. So I guess I'm going to have to make it myself. And
Yeah.
dude, that's like the fucking YouTube meta has like fucking balls deep into that, like over epic, overly explained, like.
Because I need to propose to my girlfriend in exactly 1 week, so I need to
week.
But that's
finish
what I
this
hate.
ring.
While simultaneously making an Oscar-nominated short film.
Yeah, which is
the
this
whole-
YouTube video.
They say, the whole time while eating massive amounts of laxatives.
And that's just stage one.
I just think that, I don't know how to describe that. To me, that's like, you're trying to polish a turd.
Yeah.
Usually if the idea and the presentation is good, you don't need to layer it with like so many. It's kind of like trying to be an exciting, interesting person. So you literally just wave your arms around and make noise. And everyone's like, no, you're just loud. You're not interesting. So like, for example, the photograph one 3 days ago or like recently, I was like, I'm just going to title it. I don't know what the thumbnail is. I'm just going to make it making a photograph from scratch. Which is not like, it's not like a very clickbait photo.
No,
thing.
it works
It's
well
not a
with,
transformation.
Like, you gonna put your face in the thumbnail? It's like now blue.
Maybe a photograph of you. You
And
holding.
now we're breaking him right now because he was planning NileRed.
No,
The
I'm
fact
doing
that
it.
blue came
No,
out.
I am
Oh,
doing it
now
as
he
red.
has self-doubt.
Because it's very
creeping
like
in.
process oriented and it's a personal thing. Because like I realized the reason why I want to do it, what fascinates me is that the original photography, like the silver plate stuff, was made with like such base level chemicals that you can just do it with stuff that I have around in the lab. But then it was such an impactful thing where it was like one of the first moments where people were really able to, on a large scale, like capture chemistry, allowed people to capture time, basically. Before it was all like crappy images and like painting
court drawings.
But it's like you were able to actually capture time, and it's using chemicals that are just common.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like the challenge is no one does it from scratch. Everyone buys all the chemicals and puts it all together. So I'm doing it from things I literally just have already.
Is this now blue or now red?
I want it to be a red because that's the thing. Like it personally matters to me.
Here's what I think, Nigel. People don't really care about the overall subject of the video. That's a part of it, but they also just like the process and the journey through it. So I don't, they might have heard of silver plate photography before, but they still want to see you tell the story.
And for me, I think there was always a challenge aspect that helps make the story. And it was like, if I just bought the chemicals and did it, I was like, okay, great. I just did what a company sold me.
Yeah.
But I thought the idea of like, oh, I go into my acid cabinet, I pull out the nitric acid, I go to my filters and I pull out the cotton balls.
Yeah, people like it more when it seems like somewhat relatable. It's like,
well, I'm just doing it. Yeah, I'm doing
like
the
it
stuff
seems
and I'm
possible.
like, oh, that's
it seems
cool.
like it is something that you could do.
Yeah.
Couldn't
But
you
it's just things I have.
I
Yeah.
feel like you could still do a thumbnail that's like turning cotton balls into a photograph. Or what if you did a flash? Like you made a flash, like you.
Like the old school with the wool.
Yeah,
like
turning this into a photograph.
Yeah,
but
recreating the flash bulbs that they don't make anymore.
Yeah, but you just say photograph, like turning a cotton ball into a photograph, and it's like I'm just making shit up, but the cotton ball is actually
I'm
just
saying
the
in the
flash of
thumbnail,
photo.
you-
Like,
Oh, okay.
You could do that in the thumbnail. You could have like cotton balls because I also need like I bought a silver spoon or a fork.
Dude, turning
So
a
it's just
spoon
like-
into a photograph is fucking funny.
But it's just like the thumbnail would be like
Yeah,
cotton ball.
it's so out
it
there.
might say like cotton ball plus fork, and then it goes like equals, and then there'd be like a photograph.
Dude, I
or
think-
something, or
I
like
think
goes to a photograph.
This is why these are like it's like what we'd call like a mastermind. I think you could straight up say turning a spoon into a photograph that has like the classic NileRed, just absolute
Yeah.
obscure transformation.
And then it's like a spoon and then like a photograph of your face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that would be totally
it's like-
justified. Totally
It's
justified.
Yeah.
vibe
that
with my
works.
personal goals.
No,
man.
but like I think that title is fine. You are making it from scratch, and you're basically saying that you can make it from things laying around the house.
Yeah. If
which
somebody
includes
sees
the
a spoon and then a photograph,
Yeah.
they're going to be like, whoa, how do I do this?
right? And you're like,
Yeah, it's gonna be
disclaimer,
turn-
sorry if you're poor, you can't do this because you don't have a silver spoon.
Yeah.
But I was born with a silver spoon.
it might. Yeah, I think it is a silver spoon.
One silver spoon. My
This is my silver spoon.
my silver spoon, and I'm gonna destroy it.
I use a coin. You could destroy some history, dissolve some history.
Committing a crime. I turned a crime into a photograph.
My no, I have. I'll say it. It's my. No, it has nothing to do with a crime. It's another video idea, but I don't want to say it because that someone could steal, and I'll be sad.
Turning a dead frog into a delicious snack.
A meal, dude. All right.
Tasty bites.
Turning a dead frog into tasty bites.
But yeah, I would say the kind of what you're saying. It is. There are some videos that I think are easier than others.
Mm-hmm.
And there are other. Yeah, there's some that I'm just like so easy. Others that I'm like literally a year later, I'm like, I don't know why I'm doing it. And I don't want to start.
I have very frequently run into my ambition. I scale up the ambition for the title and thumbnail and then realize that it makes it like the video more garbled. Where it's like you try to make the scale like more epic or more big, more meaningful, where it's like, oh, people will definitely click on this. And then it just becomes like a little too complicated to tell a story. And you almost like it's like shooting yourself in the foot. But like I like to look at other people's content to try to compartmentalize like my own feelings to help me make decisions.
Yeah.
And I think like Nigel's catalog is so broad and like consistent. It's like good data to make these kinds of
I
conclusions.
can't watch videos anymore without doing that automatically.
Yeah, I mean
It makes it
Just
hard.
just analyzing.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, I mean it is.
At least if it's like a video involving like engineering or something
Yeah.
like that. Like
It's good for you,
Or
but also
making,
you know,
yeah.
like whatever. Nigel, I would
Yeah, you're right.
categorize your channels as such. Main channel is high effort, interesting explorations into obscure ideas.
Yeah,
You spend time doing that.
sure.
Nile Blue, kind of a shit post. You can film them in less than a week.
Yeah.
Shorts, turbo shit post. You can film them in 30 minutes.
no, his shorts are too nice.
Yeah.
No.
No. Some of them, the magnet one, the most popular one, was filmed in 30 minutes.
Sticking my wiener into a magnet machine that took you 30 fucking minutes.
No, that one. Come on, man. That took
30
days.
seconds.
No, the one where I did like killing a magnet and recharging it.
I don't think I saw
Yeah.
that.
That's like I think the
And you like
most
threw a wrench in
views-
there too or something, right?
Oh no, this was just I just killed the magnet with a blowtorch
Okay.
and then remagnetized with my magnet machine.
And it was
That
stronger.
video, I think, yeah, and I think it's the most successful one. I filmed that in 30 minutes. It was one uncut video that I just put voiceover and chopped it down.
Well, you just did your sticking a wiener in a hydrostatic press. And then the
Oh,
smoky
yeah.
balls.
Yeah.
Dude, the smoky ball is so. You know what's gonna happen? That video is gonna get ripped and used for like simulation
Smoky
comparisons.
balls.
Like that smoky ball. Do you know what that is? You have
Smoky balls
made
is a funny.
the smoky balls. You have basically made a real life.
Like particle generator
Yes.
effect.
Yes, like a very simple demo of a particle generation physics
Yeah.
kind of simulation where the sphere, it's impossible. This is impossible to do. The sphere is generating smoke. And the only way you've ever seen that is on a computer simulation because you just make a
that's
simple
it.
object like a sphere.
Yeah.
To see a real life version of that is very weird.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. Like how it would actually
Yeah.
behave, the particles.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very bizarre.
It was actually funny. That was Reggie's idea. He's like, we should make the world's smokiest ball. And I'm like,
What?
the dumbest but best idea.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying is like, that's the shit
Reggie's
post.
great.
30-minute shit post
Yeah.
is like a short. Then Nile Blue is like, here's kind of a dumb idea that is more about Nigel doing something that's going to be kind of sloppy. And then NileRed is here's something where you like almost fully explore the idea, which is
So,
why part
I
of
think
me
that's
feels
exactly
like,
what he has already then, right?
yeah. So that's why that's like part of like when thinking about your own stuff.
Okay.
It's like, what is the difference between everything? And I that's why part of me kind of initially with the photography assumed that would be Nile Blue because that feels like something you could do in less than a week. And it's more of an experiment
it's
to explore
quick.
photography
It's much quicker
than to really explore like the chemistry and history of photography. Like I almost feel like the shittier that video is, the better the video would perform. And the shittier means maybe Nile Blue.
And I'll explain the way that I see it. And I mean, whatever, it is what it is. Basically, it's like, to me, it's usually a level of like how much I personally care. That is just like one aspect.
I know
But one
you care
is
a
like,
lot. He cares a lot. If anyone cares, it's Nigel.
no, but like, for
This is
example, the
personal
Pop Rocks
project.
video.
Yeah.
I'm not like personally, there's not like this lore behind Pop Rocks that I really felt I need to get out there. Whereas like the photography one, like I explained to you, it's something I've thought about a lot and it matters. And without a narrative, it's kind of hard to express those ideas. Whereas like I can say it in the blue, but I don't know. The way that I see it is the blue is usually when the process itself is not I would say that there's certain parts that are not inherently interesting. So we are able to,
What is the
by
procedure for the
us-
photographs? Melt the
Sorry?
spoon.
Dissolve it in
No, it's like-
acid.
it's dissolving it in acid. So you get like a nice, like,
Putting on a
there's
plate.
a nice visuals. You have to heat it in nitric acid and you're going to get like
Red smoke.
red smoke. It's going to boil. You're probably going to time lapse it. There's like a lot of visuals to it. And like the nitrocellulose is more of a, like, it's a chemical process that I think there's a lot more involved. Whereas for the blue, I find why we've been doing more food and stuff. The chemistry's not that. I mean, you can film in the fume hood, but a lot of it would be like me standing around being like, yep, and we'll come back in a bit. Oh, look, nothing's happening.
Yeah, it's like
not
clear liquid,
really
white
that,
liquid, white powder.
Yeah, and it's kind of very confusing.
Smoke.
I'm
Red
gonna-
smoke.
Yeah.
It's like, now I'm mixing this, now I'm doing this, and it's like, it's going to be very confusing. I just find it easier to present in the red, but then also it's the ideas. I don't know. That one's more of a vibe. Why I'm
I
I
definitely, part of me
yeah.
feels like it's either a shorter NileRed video
It is. Yeah. It
or
would be
a
shorter one.
regular Nile Blue video.
It would be a shorter red. That's
Okay.
kind of the idea too. Because some of the other reds,
It's
I was
not
like, dude, I
making a
started-
great flavor apple where you just absolutely do some fucking turbo bullshit and somehow get how many millions of views?
8.
I bought this
Dude.
box of liquid and I put an apple in it.
And
Give
now
me 8 million views, please. Fuck
Will,
you.
Will. Do you not realize how hard it was to find? You know.
What an asshole, right?
I know.
So there was two things about that video. The two things, okay? Before we posted that video, okay, the miracle was finding out that bird stop was probably used to make those apples. So we thought that was funny, just the fact that you have to put it in bird
That
repellent.
is extremely fucking funny.
But when we said when I'm talking to Reggie, he's like, so what's the process? I'm like, okay, we take some bird stop, we put it in water, and then we dunk the apple. And
I
Nara's like,
cannot
and
believe
then
you
I'm
made
like,
a full ass video on that.
and Nara's like, we dunked the apple. And then I'm like, he's like, and then I'm like, we're done. He's like, wait, what?
You
And
cowards should have
before-
posted that on NileRed and it's like a 3-minute video.
Yeah.
When we posted the video, I turned to Corey and I'm like, I think it was actually, no, we posted the video and it did well. And I'm like, Corey, there are so many people punching their keyboards right now because
When I was a
dunked
kid,
an
I
apple.
remember seeing in a magazine that you could order this grape flavored apple.
Mm-hmm.
And after doing some research, I realized I could probably make one myself. So I bought
That was
this.
something I wanted to do for
I
years.
bought this bird repellent and I put the apples in it. And now the apples taste like grape.
To be fair, wasn't 100% sure it would work, but
And I have
once
cancer.
I saw
I have cancer. And my
here's the thing.
colon is prolapsed.
Yeah.
the problem is originally I bought methyl and thranolite, like just the flavoring for that video, but we held off because I'm like, it's an oil, it doesn't mix with water. So I was like, we need a surfactant. Like there was actually some complication and some research I had to do. And so we kept holding off until we found out that bird stop had the exact same percentage. And I'm like, I think they discovered it through the birds. I'm ready to commit to this project.
Man, see that's kind of like, dude, no, like thinking about this now, it's like, do you make a video titled how they, you can use a bird repellent to make food versus just going balls deep and saying I made a grape flavored apple and you reveal that later? Like modern
that's the way to
YouTube is
go.
like goes into the drama about how you can use a bird repellent. It's like you know what I'm saying? Where it's like that's how you think about like the angle the audience comes in. Like, do you tell them about the bird repellent to flavor food, or do you just say I turned a apple into grape flavored apple? Like,
I like the making it seem like, somewhat normal and then just doing
That's-
stupid things in the video.
that's the most respectable way to do it.
Well, that's also how that was your journey through this too, right? You finally at the end discovered like, oh, I can just use this bird repellent.
Turns
So-
out you
so
can just
yeah, I
fucking
mean,
eat
like-
bird repellent.
Yeah.
I didn't, and then you couldn't order it in Canada, but we actually found it on eBay and they shipped it to us.
Let's go.
Pretty epic. But yeah, I mean, there's also the cheese video was funny too, because those came back to back. I'm like, yo, Corey, they're gonna be so mad. All we did was make cheese.
Yeah, I mean that
I didn't even
seems-
see the cheese one.
That's the fake cheese one, right?
Yeah. The craft singles.
Oh,
Craft
that one.
singles.
Okay.
To me though, the thing I boiled it down to, and I would tell this to the guys, I'm like, for the Blue channel, the thing that makes me want to do a video and I think drives views or whatever is just what is the angle. So it's kind of, I don't know. It's like you some things are inherent, like making a grape flavored apple. I thought was just weird.
Yeah.
But there are some things that it's like if you just made craft singles, right? It's just I'd be like, eh. But the reason why we titled it, I think it was like making American cheese to debunk a conspiracy. Like, and the whole intro we did was like kind of stupid, but that to me was like a funny angle, I thought, which at the end of the day, you're just making cheese.
Yeah.
But I find like to me, that's important. You come up with like some funny little.
I think you have,
Dumb.
when I see a video from Nigel about making American cheese, I pretty much know exactly what it's going to be. And it's like, it's almost like I think you have enough kind of brand recognition where it's like if I did a video of like making cheese, people are going to see that. And even if it's the exact same video, they're going to interpret it differently.
Oh yeah.
Whereas like if you see Nigel do it, you're like, oh, it's going to be some kind of like, you know, I don't know. What
Yeah, because people know your styles of storytelling and
it's almost
and
like
journey.
mechanical
Yeah.
maybe, where it's like you're going to see this like kind of weird streamlined process.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
almost a little bit industrious. It's not like a,
Dude,
it's not a cooking video.
People are not ready for our next video coming out this month.
What is it? Now Blue?
Making coffee from scratch.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's going to there is going to be no shortage of anyone who
Rage.
likes making coffee. They are going to be so mad.
No, it's better that way.
Wait, are you like
We
making?
started with the coffee cherry,
Okay.
and
We
we
started with
we
a
like
child slave.
Yeah.
yeah. No, we did some. We
I hired
abused those
Some
beans.
neighborhood kid to come over and take the cherries out of this bag and put them in another bag for me.
Dude, I wish
That was a
In
secret the whole
hindsight, I should
time.
have done
The
that.
hands of a child.
Makes
That video
Yeah.
Some
is a
people say the
miracle.
cat's eating it and shitting it out. And all this thing, but
Oh.
no, it's got to come. It's the hands of a child touching the bean.
Yeah.
Wow. This video though, I'm saying is it's a miracle it turned out.
The coffee? How hard
Yeah.
could it be to make mediocre coffee?
It
You basically
turned
did it
out,
with cocoa, right? It's the same thing.
No,
it's a different process.
I thought you just
The
like heat
problem
it up
was-
Oh, yeah, right?
and then grind it.
Yeah.
Well, the hard part was the roasting. And it turned out, I don't want to give too many spoilers away. The coffee that we got was one of the hardest coffees to roast.
Mm,
Says a bunch of coffee brained
Yeah.
bean cells.
bean suckers. Mm,
No,
bean
because
flickers?
it has a
Yeah.
it
Do they call someone who sells coffee
notoriously
a bean flicker?
That's a barista. Yeah.
the coffee we made
Why is everyone looking
was-
at me weird?
the coffee we made could possibly be one of the hardest coffees to roast.
Did it taste like shit?
Except we were it tastes you have to watch it. It turned out fine. But it was a
You
miracle.
bastard.
What makes a
We
coffee bean hard to roast?
So
Being Nigel.
yeah. No, basically as far as I could tell, the thickness of the coffee bean, like the actual shell, the one we got was like paper thin. So the problem is in coffee, you have a thing called first crack. The moment you hear that, you're supposed to put a timer on. And if you take it off heat within a minute, you have a light roast. And if you keep it for a certain longer, you have a medium roast. But the crack is literally pressure inside breaking the shell.
Yeah, like a popcorn
Our
kernel.
beans were so thin, you don't get a first crack.
Mm.
So we thought we did. So the first couple of attempted roasts did not go well. They went light, medium, dark, and whatever's past dark.
Turbo dark.
Turbo dark.
Fucking ash.
They actually were.
The
Yeah.
best way you don't have to grind them. You just fucking sort of
Yeah.
sprinkle the ash into the filter.
They were.
You just
When I
capture
moved
the
them around, they
smoke.
sounded like.
and then
What-
run water through the shop filter, the shop vac.
So
It was not.
you didn't burn your whole batch,
Yeah.
did you?
I think we burned like probably 80%
So you
of what
just
we
start
had.
over? Oh, so you got like 20% out of it.
Wait, why couldn't you just like look at it and then put it back?
I did the first.
Nigel. Because it would
I
let
did the first-
let the magic essence of the child hands escape.
How
If
do you
peak
roast
too
coffee?
early.
It's like the white smoke
Kevin.
of electronics.
Yeah.
How do you roast coffee? That's your first question.
Me? You put
Air
it. You
fryer.
put it in an oven until it starts to smell like coffee.
Air fryer, air fryer, air fryer,
No,
air
so
fryer.
you need.
Oh, you have to like
the
tumble
most
it. It's like a
common-
washing machine.
Is it?
The most common way is people just do it on like the cheapest, easiest, just on a skillet. I tried it with with Colombian coffee beans. Easy. We did it. Super easy. I did that after to prove that I didn't suck. But so we tried it on a skillet. Didn't work. I bought a coffee roaster on Amazon. Didn't work.
Really?
I don't want to give it away. I used something that rhymes with I basically whatever.
childo.
This is a Patreon
rhymes with
extra. We
childo.
used an air roaster. We
you-
ended up we gave up and threw it in an air fryer.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I would have gone straight to an air fryer. Fucking
But
built-in temperature controller,
Yeah.
convection fan.
Yeah.
it
Yeah. You can
turned-
get the air under and through.
Bro, they have like
through
rotisserie
everything.
things. You can put a whole fucking chicken in there.
You can stir the beans.
Yeah. So that is it worked.
Don't like the big ones use like a rotating drum though.
Probably.
seems
There's
like-
a lot. There's a crazy amount of like science that goes into the roasting because it's like, for example, let's say you throw your coffee beans into a roaster and turn it on.
Yeah.
That's wrong. You have to preheat it. But then people go,
God.
no, you have to preheat
Coffee.
it.
I know
Degeneracy.
coffee. Are you a coffee
No,
snob,
you-
John? John? Yeah, John's a coffee snob. I think.
You have to preheat
Do you have
it.
a little
Otherwise,
tamp that you use to tamp down your espresso before you for the?
Oh, yeah. You have no
and you
idea
don't
what I do.
preheat it, the heating process is weird. So like, let's say you preheat a drum to like 400 Fahrenheit. If you dump all your coffee in, the coffee then sucks up the heat and it goes down to like 340. And you have to account for like the coffee beans sucking up the heat. And that's part of your heating profile because
Oh
it's
my
like,
God.
if
I did that once with a fucking crab. I
it's-
think I've told this story.
Oh, yeah,
Sucked
yeah,
all the heat
yeah.
out of the water and wasn't enough to die.
No, you see exactly.
I
Treat
have
the
murdered
coffee like a
something.
crab.
That
Yeah,
was
you
the last
did.
episode.
How did it feel?
Yeah,
Bad.
So what'd you do to the crab?
ate it.
I just
Right.
fucking put the lid on and kept that fucker. He was a big fucker. Just kept him just fucking staying there, you little
Did you
fucker.
did you slow heat him up?
Was it? Oops.
What?
Nothing. It's oh yeah, you can't hear what John said. Thank God.
What did he
No,
say?
it's don't worry about it. We killed the crab died. It just took a while.
But wait, so you didn't throw it in boiling water? You heated it up
We did, yeah, but
slowly?
the crab was so fucking big that it sucked all the heat out of the water, and so the water stopped boiling.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it was more of like a case hardened crab than you know.
I don't know if I would say case hardened. I would say torture.
But see, yeah, exactly. It's just the same thing. You don't want that to
What's your
happen to
harm?
the coffee.
Were we talking about material stuff last or this episode?
Yeah, this one.
Last
this
one,
one.
okay. Never mind then.
Torture, crab torture.
Oh yeah.
Dog
No,
torture hardened.
If you were to again, I looked at the coffee roasting thing. It's like you if you heat it as you heat it up, different reactions happen. So if you linger at certain temperatures, you can cause the flavor to change.
How
and it's just like
bad could the
Yeah.
coffee possibly be if you fuck all this stuff up?
the coffee that I originally made is not drinkable.
Really?
'Cause it was burned, right? It was like eating burnt popcorn.
I would think it would be similar to you taking just ash from a fire and trying
Okay,
to turn it
so-
into coffee.
How did you fuck it up that bad?
Look, man, you got to watch the video.
Did it?
to
Was it
find
on
out.
fire? Like it should have been burning charcoal at
No.
that point.
The
You made
Look, man,
fucking
it's a delicate
smoking
process.
meats with coffee bean charcoal.
It's funny because when we tried it with the Colombian beans, which are like the most run of the mill generic,
Yeah.
it would just worked. It was just so easy and it just worked. And I was so salty. I was like, why didn't we just get these beans?
Oh my god. Okay, so that's wait. Was there another now blue? That's the photography one you're thinking of doing.
Yeah.
Then coffee beans. I feel like the cooking stuff
I like
is pretty like the chemistry cooking is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It's like relatable, but like so obscure that it seems to do really
I think
well.
I think it works well on the blue because it's kind of, I mean, you kind of said the same thing for your second channel with the cooking.
Yeah.
It's
basically the same.
There's stuff. No, but like
William Blue, you know.
Stuff is just like it makes sense. It's happening in front of you. Whereas, like I said, some of the chemistry is, oh, nothing's happening. We come back in 30 minutes or an hour. Whereas with the blue, it's like there's just always something going on. Like, and you get to, the big thing is you get to eat it in the end.
Yeah.
Like there's always I would always say that for me to put a video together, there always has to be, I would say, like a testable outcome. So if you built something, it's like, will it survive this or will it be able to do the thing? And if it's food, does it taste good? Like there's always something for the people, for myself even, to look forward to. So food is so easy.
Chekhov's, it's like Chekhov's hamburger.
Chekhov's burger.
If you make
Scrotum's burger.
Yeah. You have to, if you make the burger, you have to eat it. You know?
Or your mom will beat you. I'm trying to, did I tell you what I'm doing right now?
No.
I'm trying to make something that is very painful, but causes you no harm. So
that's just like a general idea, or?
No, I have a phenomenon. But like to me, it's, I mean, it started with a bigger idea. And that bigger idea, I realized, is kind of like got that narrative scope creep problem where it's just like a little bit too complicated. Where you have like one big idea. Dude, this is like videos, it's just like storytelling. It's literally just storytelling.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, like on YouTube, you start with a title thumbnail. Like, what's an interesting thing? Or it's like, what do you think is interesting? How do you make the title thumbnail interesting? And then you're sitting there thinking like how to tell the story. And like the easiest stories to tell are the one where it's just like, you know, I turned styrofoam into cinnamon.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's like very linear.
Yeah.
It's like, you know where you're going to start and you know where you're going to end. And at the end, guess what you get to see? You get to see a fucking man eat styrofoam cancer styrofoam.
Hey, man.
That might taste like cinnamon.
Yeah.
But definitely gives you cancer. And it's like, if you have, you know, in the sort of the robotic side of YouTube, you're like, I built a robot that did this. It kind of is like much more abstracted than just point A to point, like cup to flavor. Right? Because it's sort of like, oh, I'm going to do this. But why are you going to build this robot? And then it's like, well, how do you do that? It's like the steps are like a bunch of smaller convoluted steps. It's like, it would be like trying to make like what's, you know, cinnamon is an ingredient of some other chemical.
It's going to be like, this is my video. I'm going to do this. But then I subdivide the video into these 3 main problems. And then I further subdivide those problems into these steps that so you're like, you go A, 1, 2, 3. Then you're like, okay, now I got to go back to A because A is done. Then I go down to B.
It's like going to the, it's like, I'm going to the mall.
You're going back and forth. And
I'm going to the mall. Yeah. What does that fucking mean? There's 1,000 stores in the mall. Where are you going?
But first I'm going to stop at McDonald's and get a sandwich.
Exactly. And then I'm going to,
what I would say to you, Kevin, is like what I put a lot of effort into my videos is like trying to, even if something, I would say I try to never present a video that regresses in time. It's always presented as going forward.
Yeah.
Even if it's like done in like a sneaky way.
Right.
Like you're always overlapping the things you do. Sometimes it's like, oh, this is going to take a while. So while I'm waiting for that to happen, I'm going to do this. And then it's like, but you don't go backwards.
I think for you, the audience has no fucking idea what's going on the entire time. So they feel like they're on the same track. Like you're telling this one story. You ever read A Tale of Two Cities in high school?
I don't know what that is.
I've read that book. I have no fucking idea what happened in it. Literally. I remember one part, there's a guy that makes shoes. Do you know that I would read that book?
It's a big book, right?
It's a fat fuck.
Yeah. I think
I
same experience.
I was reading this book and it was all meaningless to me because I couldn't fucking keep track of what character that was.
Oh yeah.
And when we had seen them last, I couldn't remember. I actually had no fucking idea. I felt like I was blind. I was like in this story blind.
Yeah.
And I'm just getting like ping ponged. I'm like flowing through the sewers of ancient fucking Greece where A Tale of Two Cities takes place. I don't think it's ancient Greece, but I have no idea where it takes place. It's kind of like fucking London or something, right? What are the two cities? Do you know what the two cities are?
It's made by Charles Dickens. London and Paris.
Charles Calkins. London's and Paris. Wow. God, fuck that book. And fuck whoever made me read it. And it's like, I think with you, with your videos, you're kind of just like, the narrative the whole time is like, I'm going to cinnamon. And everything around it is just kind of noise because people don't really understand. Like the tangents you go on are like more, I don't know, like they don't fully understand it's a tangent, but with a more mechanical tangent, like, you know, with Kevin, you're trying to make a shit ton of force out of rope, like to build that tackle block or whatever the hell you call it. And it's like how much time can you possibly spend building this mechanism that is tangential to your narrative of the video?
Yeah, especially when a simple demonstration just tells them exactly what they need to know.
And so it's like, I guess, almost like, I think with the you can go through the process and people don't feel like it's derailed. But with us, we're kind of stuck in this trap sometimes where you just have to show the results. It's like, and then I did this, and then I built this thing. And you just skim over the explanation of it.
It's like, my motor wasn't strong enough to pull a lot of force on this rope, so I built a force multiplier. Right. And here's a little demonstration, and I threw it on there, and now...
And you can't talk about your mistakes about that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, you just have to show the final product.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. And I think with you, it's a little more obscured, and you're able to like travel through more of your full process without the audience feeling like
people
it's a tangent.
Like his process. His video is kind of like about the process.
I literally
it's like
have
chemistry
no idea what's
ASMR.
going on in any of them. Yeah. It's like ASMR.
Yeah.
But the thing, I would say that I put a lot of time and effort in the design. I wouldn't say design, but like structure before I even filmed the video to make sure that it goes forward continuously. So it's like I'll buy things and I'll think of every single step to make sure that there's no regression.
Right.
So even like one thing I was doing, I was like, do I do it in a large batch or do I do it in like smaller batches? And it's like just entirely like how it's presented going forward.
So
think
you
of
would
every
say
step.
You would say something like, I tried a large batch, and then I tried a small batch. You wouldn't say like, I tried a large batch because earlier when I tried a small batch, it didn't work or something. So I tried to do a large scale one. Because that's like going back.
I just try not to ever like move. It's always going in one direction. But even just like the design of it is, I try to make it the most, because if I have to show everything, then the video gets really long. It doesn't feel like it's moving. So I try to make it also a fit.
When the guy makes hour-long videos?
I'm saying it would be way...
2 hours?
No. So I meant like, I guess like convoluted in the sense of like, I have a rule. Like you almost, anytime you don't want to show things twice. And if you do, you have to show it very quickly. And there's like lots of little things like that. Cause if you don't do that, the video will just feel like it's not
like you're not making enough progress
in any direction.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's like, so certain things.
Giving the viewer burnout.
If I have like, I would view what people perceive as, you know, getting viewer burnout is kind of every single time the scene changes. So sometimes it'll be like, if I poured it into this beaker, then I added this, then I poured it into this beaker, then I added this, then I moved it back to this other beaker. That's too much. I'd be like, how do I make it all happen in one beaker? Because then you don't have to you don't have to change anything, and you're able to just do it all, and it feels
smart.
like you're moving forward because you're actually just doing more in a less without shifting.
It's easy to watch.
There's like, so even like the reaction, one of the things was it has to be, you have to add chemicals to the flask and then heat it and then take away there's like a whole thing. And I'm like, how do I do it in the fewest steps possible so that it's just optimized for when people watch it? It's like sometimes the setup's pre-set up. So you're like, I just dumped in the chemicals and turned on the heating. I don't know. It's like, you don't want to have, and even if I have to transfer the chemical, I try to avoid that. Try to do everything in the same flask. Like there's a lot of stuff that you just try to optimize.
Yeah, I never even thought about that aspect of it.
Otherwise, it just ends up feeling like you can watch some other chemistry channels who don't do that.
Yeah.
And it just feels like it goes nowhere.
It's like watching a time lapse, but the camera fucking jumps around.
Oh, yeah.
It ends up just being like, then I distilled it, and then I poured it into here, added an acid, distilled it again. It's just like,
because you're watching the transformation.
Yeah, so there's still different stuff happening in this flask.
If it starts moving or you're transferring, you're losing the transformation. Like the transformation
You just
has
start to be like
from A to Z without skipping a letter.
Yeah, but if you watch another video, like maybe something like what we do, building something, and they never like leave their workbench, and it's just them like, it starts to get a little boring.
Right.
Yeah, it's like now I want to like zoom in and see this thing they're working on, and then I want to see a different angle of this.
Right.
I mean, so even recently I've been starting, which got so much more complicated when I was filming for the magnets. This is why I'm saying some of these projects I just want to like die. Versus that's why I'm like, I need to make photographs.
That wish to life.
I had two cameras pointing into the glove box, plus a phone filming it from another angle, plus a third person one. So I had
hate having to remember to turn on all
plus,
those cameras and like.
I had to check them all, and it's just like my brain's like, but you need to be able to. I don't know. I've just been doing it. Like if you look at the atomic trampoline, I had
don't
like
have
the
someone
shot
that's running that for you.
No, it takes 2 seconds. I just set it up. I turn it on and walk back.
Yeah, but,
you're crazy.
And then you got to turn it off because if you forget one, then it dies. And
I let my camera run.
My
for like
phone
30
ran
minutes
for an
last night.
hour of garbage.
I needed 5 seconds of footage, and I let it run for 30 fucking minutes.
Yeah, that's what I did. It was like a 9 gig file for like 10
and then you're
seconds.
like, oh, do I just like redo it and delete that file, or do I torture myself?
No,
and
I wish my camera had a setting to just like select this part and delete everything else.
I think I put it in like Adobe whatever, and I sliced the end off because it's just absolute garbage.
Hey, what's the liability of making grape flavored apples at Open Sauce? Using bird killer.
So I'm pretty sure that's how they were discovered. And here's the thing, Will.
Can you imagine like discovering milk or discovering some other like fucking cheese? Except I discovered that if this apple that fell in the bird repellent.
Yeah.
Well, no, my theory of how they were discovered, and there is actually funny enough. I think there's a video on YouTube where a reporter was looking into these apples and asking the people who made it. He actually put forward that idea because that bird stop is a common repellent for birds, and why wouldn't you use it on apples?
Oh,
so the reporter,
my God.
The reporter asked, he's like, did you discover this because you were using the pesticide and it made the apples like grape? I think he's like, no comment. It's like it's entirely a food safe thing. So it's like I don't see why there's like, I don't see how there's any downside. And if you tell people you're not like, I think if you got selling it, then it's a food source. You have to sell it not as a food.
Yeah. No, you could do it if you got like a food grade flavor in.
So how long do they soak?
It is food grade, the bird stop.
How long do they soak?
I don't know.
How long do you soak?
It's like 1 minute. You just hold it for like a minute, kind of like shake it off.
That's you have to like let it sit to work its way in.
Or it was like, I think it was a minute, and then you put it in the fridge overnight.
Okay, so it is a pre-prepped thing.
Yeah, okay.
So
that's it. It's a 1 day thing.
We should do because we're gonna do a bunch more like food, like YouTube food. Like I think that would be fucking have a grape apple, a grapple.
You just have to do it with.
I'm gonna grape you.
No, they're called graples, and I don't like that.
Graples. Get grappled by NileRed.
Yeah. A picture of Nigel says, "I'm gonna grape you.
I'm gonna grapple you. Put my grapple in your mouth." Yeah.
I think having some cursed foods like that would be fun. Like,
they call me
have you had any
Mr. Grapple? The grapist.
Have you had any headway on your beer thing?
What?
I think that's hard. Your beer endeavor.
Oh, the clear beer. Yeah, I have like some other ideas. That one kind of is not really like making any progress, so I'm a little bit less interested in it. But I think just like some of the weird cooking stuff in general. Like I think food, I love food experiences, which is why I'll take any diet drug that lets me eat more food. I think that it doesn't even have to be like that good of food. It just needs to be like interesting things that you want to try.
Oh yeah.
And I think like the Mr. Grapple is
the
like
Graple's good.
I would love to try that. I would love to like, try weird shit that has been, it's gotta be, it'll be appropriately catered with like an actual chef following an actual recipe.
What about the cursed version, the Scatole apple?
Oh, bro, it's fucking the
scapple.
Harry
No.
Potter jelly
Scapple.
beans. Birdie boobs, every
Yeah,
flavored bean. You want
you-
fucking grape or shit apple?
Yeah.
You make an array of different flavors. One of them's poop. One of them.
Dude.
Yeah.
Wait, what is it? Does it taste like it smells?
I have no idea.
Oh. What does the good scent company say? Tastes
don't know.
shit,
Yeah,
smells
tastes
like
I'll
shit.
ask I'll
Five
ask
stars.
ChatGPT.
Was there like any known chemist that was like a scat into scat?
Wow. How would you disguise it though until you took a bite? You might have to actually just like inject a little bit into the inside of the apple.
Fucking rancid, dude.
So you sell these at Open Sauce. They're free, but one of them tastes like shit.
So apparently, in small amounts, it can have a nice, sweet, floral taste. But in high amounts, it's like a barn.
A barn. Like
Yeah,
a
it does smell like it smells like a barn.
Huh, that's not that
So
bad.
it kind of would be similar to its smell. So it'd be pretty nasty and high. But
Well, yeah,
low,
dude,
it's like
it smells
this
like
is
shit,
poop
but tastes
flavored
like
apples.
floral.
Yeah, that's
Dude, don't give me
weird.
Don't give me more blue ideas. Making
Kind of like
I made a poop
making
apple.
poop apples. Making an apple that tastes like poop.
Making an apple that smells like poop.
what's that really stinky fruit that they have in like
Durian?
Yeah,
The one
yeah.
that like there's warnings everywhere.
Yeah, like do not open durian in this hotel.
I feel like I've smelled it once and I didn't like it.
I've eaten it. I don't like it.
I like it.
The smell?
Yeah.
You like durian?
Yeah. I've never had the fruit by itself, but I've had a lot of durian flavored stuff like ice cream or like a jelly pudding thing.
Mm. Custard?
Yeah.
I don't know if
It does not. So when people told me that, I was in Hong Kong and everyone's like, okay, look, it tastes way better than it smells. And they're like, yeah, it doesn't smell amazing, but it tastes like, they would tell me, like, especially if you freeze it and then let it
Yeah.
thaw a
It's
little
in, like, the
bit. They're
the
like,
freezer
it's like
section
an
at
ice
Asian
cream, a
markets.
creamy.
Smart.
So
You can
I
still smell
tried it. I tried it. And the smell smelled like dumpster cheese, like
Yeah.
it's just not good. And the taste was 100% the same.
I don't think I've ever had.
There was no difference to me. I was like, I was completely, it's like handing someone a
fucked.
turd and going, it smells bad, but it doesn't taste like poop. You eat it and go, no, this is
like poop.
this is exactly what it smells
Was it like a little bit sweeter though? It was like sweet poop.
Maybe.
A spoonful.
Maybe
of
it's like
sugar
a
makes the poop.
cilantro thing. Like some people just perceive it differently. 'Cause I don't think it's that bad.
Full of
No.
sulfury.
It is kind of
Crap.
sulfury. It's kind of like it smells good. It's like your own farts, you know?
It does not smell good.
It's like, is it like foot? Is it fart? Is it like a combination?
No, it's mostly like
Foot fart.
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 I don't know how to describe it. It's like garbage.
I like pepper.
smells
Yeah,
like
yeah, it
something's-
is.
yeah.
Dumpster
Capsaicin
juice.
was like an evolution to stop people from eating
You guys
it.
should do
and
durian scented candle.
Just shit scented.
Yeah.
This is durian scented, and we just use Skatol.
I told you got to make the poop scented candles.
I ordered.
I keep
some
forgetting to
scents.
send you the damn
Send me my
stuff.
poop. Send me my poop smell.
I'm the gatekeeper to the poop
Yeah,
candles.
stop holding your poop smells from me, Nigel. Give me your poop
I think
smells.
that's so funny.
I
What'd actually
ordered-
be funny is if you put the candle in the bathroom and it says like burn if you poop or something, and some guy thinks it hides the smell and it just makes the whole room smell like
It's like
poop.
cover the smell of your piss by lighting this candle. I'm trying to make this pain thing, and I'm like my plan right now is I'm pretty sure that I can say what it is. What's the fucking worst that happens?
Someone steals it.
No.
No, they won't.
It's like the idea is to make the most painful thing that doesn't hurt you, but I don't know if that's like a good title. It's like the most painful thing that doesn't hurt you. I feel like it's got to be like a machine. Like I built the most painful thing. So my current kind of running idea is I built what the fuck did I say? I built a machine that doesn't, or this machine causes. I built a machine that causes or tricks your brain into feeling pain.
Yeah, okay.
I built the machine that tricks your brain into feeling pain. That way it feels like there's some kind of more complex mechanism going on.
Like
Because, dude, that's why I feel like YouTube's just been clickbaited to hell and back, where it's like, I made a painful box. And it's just like, the Try Guys or the Sidemen just putting their hand in a box that has like, I don't know, like a rabbit in it.
Yeah, or like a electric fly swatter.
Right. Yeah. And you're just like, cool, this is great. And that, fucking kill me. And so it's like, I built a machine that tricks your brain into feeling pain. And then it's like taking the phenomenon of the specific phenomenon is the thermal grill illusion, where it's like varying hot and cold, which actually is fucking horrific how well it works.
Felt that before, Nigel?
I don't think so. No.
You know when your hands are really cold and you wash them with warm water?
Yeah, you were telling me about
and it hurts. So there's like a way to, if you provide or create alternating hot and cold with like the correct distances and gaps on your skin, it's probably relative to like nerve density. You can trick your brain into feeling a burning sensation, because apparently a burning sensation is a combination of what you would consider hot and cold.
Interesting. Yeah.
So it's like when you feel hot, you feel warm. When you feel cold, you feel cold. When you feel burning, you feel both. And it's like when next time you burn yourself, you'll kind of be like, holy wait, actually it does kind of feel like that. I got some icy hot.
No, I've always kind of noticed that, but I never knew that that's actually what it was doing.
So I think that you can confuse your brains based on the density of nerves, where you like groups of nerves are sort of combining their signals, and you can kind of bunch them together so that both the signals from the same area are essentially recreating a burning signal. And then the worst part of this whole thing is the additional like psychology on top of that phenomenon. So additional mechanisms to help sell the illusion even harder.
Hit all the senses.
So imagine like a fucking 5D experience from hell, where you stick your arm in a box and someone actually has a panic attack.
Because I guess like, yeah, it would be pretty interesting if you did like the alternating things and they think it's hot and then it starts turning red.
I have
or like it starts doing things that make you think.
I'm going to do a full animation routine with like 3 different things happening at the same time.
Yeah.
And I genuinely think even if you know what's happening inside of the box,
you hate it.
You're going to fucking freak out.
I think it's a really good idea. And one thing I'd say just in general is titles I like when the titles are like not I built, but building, because it makes it sound like it's an adventure versus like it's already done.
That's a good idea, actually. Building a machine that tricks your brain.
Because it makes it sound like you're starting the adventure versus like...
It's kind of like the takoyaki increase. When I cooked the takoyaki, I changed the title from 3 takoyaki 3 different ways to I tried cooking Japanese food. And it's like more of a progress.
Oh, I just thought of a great way for the like audio cue would be like a wet sponge getting pressed down onto a hot plate. So it's like, tss. It starts like crackling and stuff. Like anytime so as soon as the hand hits it.
Yes. Dude, I
hate that. I'm thinking about that. And I already don't like it.
I think it's going to be fucked. Like
if I heard that and I felt it, I would be like instantly trying to rip my hand out of that machine.
Watch you do it and the US government takes it and uses it to interrogate terrorists.
I was thinking that too. I was like, I built building a torture device for Guantanamo Bay, and essentially saying like, this is like, you can put your hand in this box and you just have to genuinely trust me that what you think is happening is not. And when you pull your hand out, there will be nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
Literally no injury, no marks, nothing will be wrong with you. And seconds prior, you were fucking panicking. That's fucked up.
It'll feel like you just woke up from a bad dream.
Yes, like a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
And you're like almost like there's the residual like brain stimulation, but none of the physical stuff is there.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me think about this whole idea too, where it's like, for whatever reason, at least myself, when you think of torture, you're like, it's physical, but anything like psychological, which is why they're like, oh, it's not that bad. You're not hurt. It's just waterboarding. And it's like the concept of like damaging people psychologically is kind of like no harm, no foul, because you can't see it, I guess. But it's like when you think of your experiment, I just thought about that. I'm like, no, if you had people and you're just convincing them they're burning alive, That's definitely torture.
Dude, that's super
Even if
torture, and it's like probably almost worse than physical torture because you're like fucking people up in a way that's not obvious.
The difference between this and waterboarding is waterboarding doesn't get any easier, where this would get easier the second
they were thirsty.
Yeah, the second your hand comes out and it's totally fine,
Yeah.
I think you would be a lot less hesitant to do it again.
Dude, I know. Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that it's gonna be scary enough that it's gonna be difficult to like convince yourself over and over.
I think random people for sure.
I think. The original idea was to have it like clamp your arm inside of it. I don't think you can do that. I think
it should have like a thing that you slide your hand into.
You have to grab it.
No, it's like imagine like a thin box, like a VHS sized box that you put your hand in, and then there's like a cut open part on the bottom.
Yeah.
And the piston pushes your hand down onto the grill.
Yeah.
Not hard, but you can just like set the distance of the piston, so like just barely. There could be like foam on top too.
I think that people are gonna rip their hands out.
Just so it's the sensation, just like that. So it's just the sensation of not being in control of your hand, being pushed,
like out of control.
Down. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited. I actually genuinely excited about this because I think that like the motivation of like having to continuously like trying new things, like how do I make this more and more and more painful? It's like an open-ended
beat them up.
narrative. Dude, I think that if you did this in public, people would actually fucking scream and freak out. I'm so excited.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really interesting. Just like those psychological things in general.
Right.
No, I think it's good.
Okay. That gives me confidence because this has been a whole back and forth for like a week. Stripping down the original idea to just one component of one part of it of what was supposed to be a bigger idea.
I think like at least for me, when I put together a video, I think what I've realized is just making it as simple as possible.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Because because the moment you kind of do other stuff, it kind of dilutes what you're doing. But if you just hyper focus, like building a machine, whatever that you said, like that tricks your brain into feeling pain. It's like, and then that's just what you do.
Yeah. Dude,
I know. I feel like
it's like the
viewer
video.
goes.
It's like the instant you go to New Zealand, it's like a derailment. It's almost like it has to be compartmentalized into.
But I like it's like as a viewer, you go, oh, building machine that makes you feel pain. Like fake tricks you. Okay, I click on it. And then the video starts and you're like, I'm going to build a machine that makes you feel pain or tricks you. And you're like, oh my God, he's doing it.
He's real. I'm coming.
And that's what I find what it is. It's just like you say that, they go, oh, it's real. Then you go, and then to do this, I have to do step one. You're like, okay. He said he's doing it. He's doing step one. And it's like you just keep making little promises.
I made a box that cuts your penis off.
Okay, that's real pain. That
a video there somewhere. Because you don't actually have to use it. You just have a box that like if you stick your penis in it, it'll chop your penis off.
Yeah. That's all it says right here.
The whole video, they're like waiting for an explanation. You like never give it to them. It's like, why you would build this? My neighbor keeps fucking my outdoor couch.
I was gonna say, on that note, I think I have to go.
Nigel looks over at his couch.
Wait, what?
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Man.
Gotta get Nigel's ready to bust.